The next is balagha. Okay, so let me just move down here. Balagha, basically what balagha is about is subject with regards to the sentences themselves, not the grammar but the structure of the sentences. I mean, it's similar to Nahu with the structure, whereas Nahu was dealing with the last letter. Arabic balagha is, let me show you an example. If I was to say, in the house I saw a mouse. Okay, so you see, you have house, mouse. So the structure of this sentence here is that they both end with the same rhythmic word, or same word, same pattern. House, mouse. In the house I saw a mouse. Same pattern over here. And this is something you probably see in the Quran quite a lot, like some of the surahs, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ مَا قَلَى. They end with a certain rhythm pattern. Or let's say you have, for example, a sentence, he drove me up the wall. You know, he drove me up the wall. Now, he drove me up the wall doesn't mean that a person, he, drove a person in a vehicle up a vertical wall. It doesn't literally mean that. What it means is that a person, he angered the other person. Okay, so he angered me, and he angered me so much that it was as though he was driving me up the wall. So here is like figurative speech. You get quite a lot of that in the Arabic language as well. So this is just two examples I've given you. There's many other branches of balagha itself which you study, and the more you study this, the more you can have a deeper understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah and how words are in their own contexts. And this will save you from falling into the trap of taking words out of context. Finally, what we have is the adab. Adab, Arabic literature. Now this is very important to study in the Alim course as well, because basically what adab is the learning of the language, okay, the language or the context of the language. The context of the language is very important. So at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, let's say we have a timeline over here. This is our timeline, and let's say we are over here, us over here, and the Prophet ﷺ's time, let's say, was over here. Is the advent of Islam. Now you have Arabic language has been around for many years. Okay, many years the Arabic language has existed. However, the Arabic language has always been going through changes. It's always being evolved. It's always going through evolution. So depending on the society, the time, the place, the Arabic language is different. That's why, if you go today in the Arab world, you'll find Arabic language in Morocco is very different from the Arabic language in possibly Dubai or in Saudi Arabia. The Arabic language changes over time. So what we want is, we want to know how to understand the context of the Arabic language at exactly this time here, this point. Okay, we want. And this context at this point can only be understood if we can understand the poetry at this time. So when you study language, you study Arabic poetry, because poetry was very predominant and common at that time, and that's the main form or carrier of the Arabic language. So you study poetry. Now the poetry, you have poetry over here, which is the pre-Islamic poetry, and then you have like the post-Islamic poetry, and then you have like modern poetry. Okay, the modern poetry. So you study all of these branches of poetry so that you can understand how the Arabs use the words in their context. I mean, let me give you an example. Let's take the word mobile. Okay, very famous word we have nowadays. Now this word has gone through many phases and evolutions over time. I mean, if you were to go back 200 years and ask, or 100 years, and say, what does mobile mean? Mobile would possibly mean something like a caravan or something which is movable. Yeah, something movable, easily moved from one place to another. But nowadays it's for the small object or the electronic device that most of us, all of us, really have in our pockets. Okay, the mobile phone. So the words over time change. So if a person was to say, I live in a mobile, I mean, nowadays we wouldn't say live in a mobile, he lives inside a mobile phone. It means that it has to be understood at what context the word is used for. So this is why we study the Arabic language. And like I said, we study poetry. So if you're studying poetry, we need to know about the poets in history, the pre-Islamic poets, post-Islamic poets. We need to study the Arabic literature books, okay, different types of books, fiction, non-fiction, fiction, and this is something which is important for a person, and especially in the Alim course, where lots of emphasis put on understanding the Arabic language. So let me just sum up what we've just done. Let me just zoom out. Okay, so we have the Alim course, the Arabic, the fiqh, the Quran and Sunnah, and the Arabic itself is in 4 branches, 4 topics you study: sarf, the nahu, the balagha, the adab, and then you have like all these. One of the things you have to remember is that there's lots of rules that have to be learnt. Okay, when you study sarf and nahu, balagha, lots of rules and learning principles are important. So you have to bear that in mind when you're going to go into the Alim course. Then you have adab, which is literature. Hope that's made it a bit easier. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box. Jazakumullah khair.